Hey, what's going on with it, ladies and gentlemen, ponies and gentle cults? This is the one, the only Criticism Guy 2009, aka Nintendo Free 2011. This was basically I was going to say a last minute sort of video before 2012 ends, because it is officially 2:30 right now, West Coast Pacific time, and then no, obviously I'm not going to be able to upload this video until maybe this Friday, so it's going to be old by then, because it'll be 2013 by then. So I was going to wear these shades, but they were itching my head a little bit, so I was like, I decided to wear these. And no drinks today. I just decided to do this thing a little bit of a solo thing instead of having a co-drink host on the set, if you will. But yeah, I got my top 10 list of worst movies of 2012, and there is a couple of them. There was probably like 20 or 30 more I wanted to do, but I decided to leave it at top 10. I do have a top 10 worst video games of 2012, so be on the lookout for that. Not sure if I'm still going to do it in this channel or my Nintendo Free 2011 channel, so still debating on that. So without further ado, let's begin. And by the way, these first two top 10s, number 10, number 9, I actually got that when I was taking a shower. And some of my thoughts on my videos, whenever I'm thinking about making a video, it's either A, if I'm taking a shower, or if I'm, I don't know, maybe working at my job or exercise. And that's usually where I get my thoughts and ideas every time I think about making a vlog. So without further ado, let's begin real quick. Number 10, number 9, the reason why these two movies suck pretty bad, even though I did movie reviews on it, I still felt like they sucked a little bit, and they were pretty horrible and a pathetic excuse for a movie, unfortunately. Number 10 would be, I know this guy's a very amazing, very talented actor. You know, he's a legend basically in Hollywood, is Johnny Depp, and I know he did Pirates of the Caribbean and Edward Scissorhands a long time ago, but this one wasn't that good. Even though, like, he did a couple other ones. You know, he did the Mad Hatter off Alice in Wonderland, but this one, Dark Shadows. You know, the reason why I thought this movie was pretty horrible and it pretty much sucked is because there was really no background information of why you know, he was just attacking people for no reason. I know they do show a background of him, like, back in the 1200s, a long time ago, right before he came from London all the way to the U.S. or whatever, back when Christopher Columbus was searching the world for America and shit like that. You know, I didn't really like it too much because, like I said, there was not too much background information on it except for that part, and there was a lot of sexual jokes here and there. You know, I like sexual jokes, but they overdid it on that, and my view on that is, like I said, they overdid the whole freaking thing. You know, there was a lot of special effects here and there, but at the same time, the ending was kind of crap too, because he ends up dying at the end when he fights this witch and everything. So I kind of got pissed off at that. So that's the main reason why I thought this movie sucked pretty bad. So if you still want to see it on Blu-ray, DVD, or Netflix, go ahead. But to me, I thought this movie sucked a little bit. I was gonna wear my New York dark hat, but I decided to use the light one. Try to make a little bit of a, you know, positive note in this, you know. Excuse me on that. Next one up is number 9, the Bourne Legacy. I never really saw the other Bourne trilogies, like the Bourne Ultimatum, the Bourne Supremacy, and all the original Jason Bourne shit. But I knew this one, even though I had a really good ass actor, Jeremy Renner from the Avengers, and that other one, The Town, there wasn't a lot of action until like the end of the movie. That's the main thing that pissed me the fuck off about this movie, wasting my $8 on this piece of shit, unfortunately. You know, I got 50 views on it, but the reason I really didn't like this shit is because words can't even explain how bad this shit is, you know. There weren't that many good actors in it except for Jeremy Renner. I'm not sure about the other guys. I know that other dude, Edward Norton, was in it. That's probably another reason I wanted to go see it, because I know he's a very huge legendary actor. You know, he did the Hulk, he did that American History X, so he's a pretty huge legend in the industry, you know. Hopefully he makes more movies in 2013, because I didn't see a lot of them this year, so hopefully we get to see more of Edward Norton next year in 2013, because he's a pretty kick-ass talented actor, you know. He's a very huge legend, you know. He's done a lot more movies, more than Jeremy Renner has. Maybe if he would have been Jason Bourne, it probably would have been a little bit better, you know. Because the way where I felt like they were going through with this, I mean, they did do a lot of travels here and there. That's probably another reason why this movie was okay, but most of the movie sucked because there was no background premises to where they left off. They didn't even show, like, where they last were with that other dude that was the original Jason Bourne from the Bourne Ultimatum, the Bourne Supremacy, and all those other trilogies. I don't really care about that dude too, because he's probably a racist fuck. He probably doesn't like black or Spanish, so he can go fuck off. But at the same time, you know, There weren't a lot of special effects in it either. It was just all hand-to-hand combat shit and gun shooting at the end. And they ended up putting in the Philippines at the end. And I like the Philippines, you know. I love all the food out there, the hot-ass women and shit, but they made it look like a piece of shit time because they were in a lot of the ghetto areas instead of the nicer suburb areas. But you know what? It's all good. So other than that, that's the reason why Bourne Legacy sucks. It's a very horrible movie. But you can still check it out. Check out any of these movies you want. You can tell me, write me in the comments fucking below if you think this was a badass movie, it deserves an Oscar, a Grammy, or any of those awards, or even an Emmy, or if you think it's a piece of shit and belongs in the trash. So, next one at number 8. I did like this movie a lot, but it was kind of like a cliffhanger movie, and I didn't really like it about this movie. I know I did a movie review on this way earlier, back in January of this year. It is Man on the Ledge. It stars the guy that made Clash of the Titans. I can't really think of his name right now, but he's a very talented actor. I know he did Avatar, and I know he did Clash of the Titans 1 and 2. So, actually, Wrath of the Titans in the second one with Liam Neeson. But this one, there weren't that many like very popular actors in it. There was this really hot-ass Puerto Rican girl in it. Forgot what her name was, but her last name, now I remember. Her name was Genesis Rodriguez. She was a hot piece of Puerto Rican ass. I would love to fuck the shit out of that. You know, very beautiful, hot Puerto Rican bitch, you know, for sure. This was kind of like a cliffhanger kind of movie. I didn't really like that too much. Too many surprises all over the place. There was a lot of action in there. I know Elizabeth Banks was in there too from the Rum Diaries last year, and that other one she just did, the Hunger Games, earlier this year. But other than that, it was only her and that other dude that was in the Avatar movies, which I can't remember his name, but he's a pretty kick-ass actor. But I didn't really like him in this movie because they put way too many cliffhangers, like I keep saying. Too many surprises. You can't really expect anything to happen, which I really like to expect shit to happen. I feel like I want to know what's going to happen next before it plays out on the theaters. So that's another reason why I really didn't like this movie. Another reason I didn't like this movie, too many explosions, too many bombs, there's way too many flashbacks, you know. This was like more of a return to the past kind of movie more than it is like an up-to-date kind of movie. So that's why I didn't really like this movie that much. So it's Man on the Ledge. So number 7 and 6, they basically explain themselves. They're more like chick flicks. Even though they got 2 good actors in it. One very huge legendary actor. Number 7, The Vow, was with Channing Tatum, and it was with another girl too. I think it was Amy Adams, or that blonde girl that was in Mean Girls, the one that was I think her name was Karen in that movie, or Gretchen. I forgot, but she did a couple other movies, and she was a blonde girl from Sherlock Holmes that was Watson's wife or whatever, and Sherlock's his friend. She was a good actress, but she wasn't that good in this movie. I think it was either her or Amy Adams. I'm not sure that was Channing Tatum's wife in the movie. It's based on a real-life story. The Vows, based on a person's, like, couple shit that happened in real life about 20, 30 years ago. But I wasn't really into it because it's a chick flick. Obviously, I hate chick flicks. I suck balls. I mean, the only time I would ever watch a chick flick is, you know, if I had a fiance or a wife. But I know I ain't going to get married anytime soon, so definitely not going to watch that shit. I guarantee you that. And as far as Eat, Pray, and Love goes, I didn't really like that shit because it was another chick flick movie, you know. It's with Julia Roberts, too, and that lady's got like 51, 52 years old, like Madonna's age, so she's a very legendary actor. I know she did Pretty Woman and a whole bunch of countless other movies I could go on and on to explain with, you know. And even though I know her daughter, not her daughter, but her niece, Emma Roberts, I hope she's a lot more better in the future than she is, because I could see her, I think she's like 21, 22 now. She still looks alright cute, but she still kind of has that baby face, so I know she's around my age, like 2-3 years younger, but not really feeling the girl, so hopefully when she's in her 30s and 40s, she gets a lot better than her aunt, Julia Roberts, is, so hopefully she doesn't go the same direction. And the reason I didn't really like Eat, Pray, and Love, it's like one of those 4 or 5 hour documentary film kind of things, and it's about finding your true self, and that's like, kind of sounds like some little faggot type of shit I would hear on a fucking Broadway play, so I'm like, I ain't watching that shit. Fuck that. Number 5, the only reason I actually watched this movie because that beautiful hot piece of gringa ass, Emma Stone was in there. Very beautiful hot girl. She's like Lindsay Lohan. I know she did Easy A. Superbad was her first movie she did. Crazy Stupid Love she did. And what else did she do? Gangster Squad, that's coming out January 11th. It was supposed to come out in October or November, December of this year, but they pushed it all the way next month, which is tomorrow, the 1st, all the way January 11th. That's when it's going to be playing. So I really want to go see that movie for sure. You know, she's going to do Gangster Squad, like I said. She's done a couple other movies too. You know, she's been around since '07, but I have a lot of respect for that actress. Very beautiful woman. Probably as hot as that one that was from the '70s show in The Wizard of Oz, Mila Kunis. You know, she's a hot piece of ass too. You know, she doesn't have the big tits and a nice butt, but she's still cute as fuck. But yeah, The Amazing Spider-Man, I didn't really like this movie that much. I went to go see it with my roommate when I was in California. I only got 10 views on that channel, not on that channel, but on that video when I was doing it at that time on June and July. Wasn't too crazy about it, but you know what, I went to go see it because my roommate wouldn't shut the hell up about watching it, so I was like, fuck it, might as well go. I mean, I liked the storyline, the way the plot and the premises was, you know, creating itself as it went along, but at the same time, I'm like, the guy that played him, Andrew Garfield, he sucked really bad. He even said himself that he was basically not as good as the other guy, Tobey Maguire, that did Spider-Man in the original trilogies, which they should have had him do it, but he probably didn't care about it too much anymore. I guess there wasn't a lot of fan support on it, so we got this piece of shit guy, Andrew Garfield, that did it. Even though he did that Facebook movie, but that's the only one I knew he did. He might have done a couple other ones, but they don't come to mind. I think he did a lot more TV shows than he did movies. That's why he wasn't very good in this type of scenario of movies, especially with an action movie, because the other one was more like documentary, docudrama sort of movie, the Facebook movie, aka Social Network. But to my knowledge, I didn't really like him that much. He needs to work a lot more in his act. Emma Stone was the only one that actually deserves an Oscar award in this movie. Everyone else sucked. Even the guy that did the Lizard Man, he wasn't that good. I'm sorry. I mean, the Lizard Man, he looked alright, but he looked way too fake. And it's kind of like it was all chopped up at last second kind of movie, you know? That's the reason I wasn't too crazy about this either. Too much hype for it. And then he uses those little, like, toy things that the little kids use in the Spider-Man thing. Like, what the fuck is up with that? I mean, he can't use it without them or whatever. He can't use his little webbings or web powers without, you know, with those little toy fucking Spider-Man, you know, squirters or whatever. It fucking sucked, okay? I'm sorry. It was just a piece of shit movie. Definitely won't ever see that again. Number 4, I didn't really learn too much about this movie for number 4, but it's called Gone with Amanda Seyfried. I know she was the one that did Mean Girls a long time ago. A couple other movies like The Other Sister and trying to think, Jennifer's Body. She was a lot more better in that one, but this one, she wasn't that good in it. Even though it was a very huge action, you know, horror kind of movie, but I wasn't really feeling it too much. I never really went to go see it. I saw the trailers for it. Right away, I thought that sucked balls, and I really didn't like that fucking movie. The actress she's really fucking beautiful, really hot blonde bitch, but wasn't feeling on the movie. So hopefully she comes out with better shit next year than she did this year, because she didn't do too well for me on my list this year, okay? So, Gone, the only thing I can say about it is it needs a lot more work. Basically, it's about a girl that gets kidnapped from another guy or whatever, and I don't know if she gets kidnapped or her sister gets kidnapped, and it's up to her to, like, find this missing person. I didn't really like the premise of the story because it was like a CSI made out of a movie, so I never really liked CSI either because I don't like those boring-ass crime scene investigation kind of movies. They put me to sleep very fast like romantic movies do, romance chick flick movies do. So that's the reason this is number 4 on the worst movies of 2012. Number 3, 3D remake movies, like number 3 and 2 would be Finding Nemo and Monsters, Inc. 3D. The reason I don't like how they do these things in 3D, which I like some movies that are in 3D, but not every single movie should be in 3D, because it's the exact same fucking movie like it was 10, 11 years ago, but they want to bring it back to a younger generation instead of the one that I grew up with, my generation, because when Monsters, Inc. came out, that was like 2000, 2001. I was like 11, 12 years old when that shit came out. And I was still a little ass kid at that time, still in the 5th grade, you know, either playing Pokemon cards, I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And shit like that, but, you know, what can you do? I was super nerdy at the time when I was in elementary, middle school. And once I was in high school, that's when I started to become a lot more hardcore and really didn't give a shit about that stuff too much, but I still cared, but not as much. You know, you get what I'm saying? I hung out with certain groups that I really shouldn't have, but at the same time, I'm like, what the fuck? Might as well, you know? But yeah, you know, I didn't like this shit too much because, it just sucked balls, I'm sorry. It's a piece of shit fucking movies, you know? Well, they're not pieces of shit fucking movies. They're really good classic movies, but when they put it in 3D, then they make it to shit, you know? I mean, now that I understand they're trying to introduce it to a younger generation. Like Finding Nemo, that one came out when I was like 16, 17. So they came out in my teen years. That's when I really didn't give a shit about Pixar too much anymore. until they made Toy Story 3. That's when the only time I ever cared about it. Or maybe that Lightning McQueen movie, Cars. You know, that one was alright. When they made Cars 2, then it just flopped to me, you know. I mean, Owen Wilson's a good-ass actor, but when it comes to voice acting, I wasn't really feeling him too much, unfortunately. But yeah, that's the reason I really don't like 3D remake movies, because it's the exact same fucking storyline, the exact same fucking movie, it's just in 3D, you know? Especially if you're my age, if you're past in your early, mid-20s like I am, you know exactly what's going to happen in those kind of movies, because we grew up with those sort of movies when we were in our, you know, child, teen years, you know? Because, all those are old as fuck. Nobody really cares about those anymore, but you know, I guess because, you know, Pixar or DreamWorks, they want to make an extra $100 million, you know what? Might as well. Chump change on the side to them, because they make trillions every fucking month. So other than that, yeah, that's what I got to say about these movies. I was going to put this on the list, but I decided to take it back because I did not watch this movie yet in 2012. I might watch it on my Netflix or something, but we'll see what happens. I was going to say The Raid would be the worst movie, but I heard it was from a documentary, sort of indie kind of film, so I was like, you know what, I'm probably going to give it a chance. So I'm going to take that one off the list, The Raid, because I haven't watched it yet. I haven't given it a chance. I know 3TR Topics, shout out to the dude like always. You know, he lives out in Vegas like I do, so maybe if we meet one day, we might actually do a video together. You never know. You know, that's the reason why I really don't want to put The Raid on here, like I said, so that might be for a best movie of 2012, you never know. Even though it'll be 2013 by the time this vlog and the other vlog comes on, you know? Last but not least, I don't know why this guy's still acting, because he basically ran out of talent. He hasn't really done a good movie since the voice of Shrek. Not the voice of Shrek, but in the movie Shrek when he did Donkey's voice, but other than that, he kind of sucked after a while, you know? And I had a lot of respect for him when I was a little ass kid, when I was like 5 to like 13 years old. Back in the early mid-90s, all the way up to the early thousands. After that, he sucked big time. I'm sorry. Even though he was a very legendary actor, I still don't like him too much anymore, but this is with a movie with Eddie Murphy in it, and I like his cousin a lot better. He's a lot more funnier. He's a lot more, you know, full of energy, full of life kind of guy, Charlie Murphy, but because he did that Dave Chappelle skit a long time ago, and he did a lot of side character roles in movies, but he deserves to have his own movie. That Moreno's funny as hell, man. That's the funniest black dude in the whole freaking world besides that other dude, Cat Williams, and the other one, Kevin Hart. Very funny guy. And Mike Epps, too. He was a funny-ass dude, too. 1,000 Words with Eddie Murphy. I didn't really not like this movie at all. It just was complete shit on a fucking floor. That's what it was. Shit on a fucking dog pad. That's what it was. Dog shit, to be clear. The reason I really didn't like this movie is, like, it put me to sleep very fast, but at the same time, I stood up for it, and I was like, whatever, might as well watch. The only thing that was actually funny about this movie was this one scene when it was that guy from the Friday movies and the Boondocks guy, the one that does Robert Freeman's voice in the Boondocks, the one that's Granddad, Uncle Junebug, him. That's what I'm thinking about. He was the only reason I watched it. That was the only part that was actually funny, when he's trying to help him go across the street in a busy traffic section, and he almost gets hit, but like Uncle Junebug survived the whole time, and he can't speak at all. You know, it's the funny thing about this movie, but it still sucks balls at the same time because, of course, there's not gonna be no action in it. The comedy wasn't really there either. It's like it's a lot of the same comedy, you know, recycled shit like you always heard from Eddie Murphy. So I wasn't really surprised at a lot of the things that he did in that movie. He did a lot of little miming gestures like that, and I was like, what the fuck is that shit, you know? That's fucking gay as hell. I don't need to spend $8 fucking to go see a movie like that, alright? That is a waste of my fucking time. It's a waste of everyone else's time, whoever else thinks Eddie Murphy's fucking washed up after he did Donkey's voice off of Shrek. Because that's the only time he was ever actually good. And after that, it's like he kind of went from uphill to fucking downhill. He went down to shitter. That's where he went to. I'm sorry for any African Americans that are out there watching. But, you know, this Moreno dude, he just sucks balls. I'm sorry. His movies are shit nowadays. If he ever makes anything in 2013, I'm not even going to watch it. I'm tired of giving this dude chances after like 14, 15 years. They're all shit. Pura mierda. That's what the fuck it is. Like what Faye the Holy Soldier would say, you know? But that's really all I have to say in this top 10 list right here. Look at that background. Kick fucking ass. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's a really kick-ass hotel in Vegas. You know, definitely check that out if you're ever out here in the 702. And you might have to bring $1,000 just in case. It's expensive as hell if you're going to spend a vacation out here. But other than that, that's all I have to say on this top 10 worst movies of 2012. I am going to do top 10 worst video games of 2012. I actually have 2 in my mind right now, which would be Diablo 3 and Skyrim, because I really didn't give a shit about those games at all. I really don't care too much for big giant franchises games like those, because they get bored very fast. They get too fucking repetitive, and the only time I care about them is if they got something a little bit more original than the other franchises did. So, you know, that's really the only reason I don't give a shit about those kind of games. So that's for another video. It's probably been over 30 minutes. So peace the fuck out. Is what it is, ain't what it ain't. See you when I see you. Have a good day, have a good night, wherever you're at. Happy New Year's Eve. It is December 31st, 2012, the way I'm making this video. This probably won't be out till this Friday in 2013, aka 2013, or next week. We'll see whenever I get computer on the main internet. Internet on the main computer. Excuse me, had that mixed up a little bit. But yeah, I'll see you around. Take care, goodbye, and don't drink and drive too much. Please do not get into any accidents. If you're tipsy as fuck, drunk out of your fucking ass, call for something like Tipsy Toe or call a cab or whatever, because we really don't need too many deaths left as there already is. We already lost a lot of great people in this year, like Jenny Rivera, you know, the whole Trayvon Martin shit, Aurora, Colorado, and all the Connecticut shooting. We lost way too many people this year. And Lance Armstrong, or no, Neil Armstrong, you know. We don't need any more deaths, alright? Take care, I'm out. Laters. Goodbye.